The bluefin tuna everyone has been waiting for is finally back again. This bluefin tuna was caught on Children's Day. Although it is not as huge as some previous ones, this fish still weighs over 500 pounds and was sold for an incredible $20,000. Many people know bluefin tuna as the Rolls-Royce of Sashimi, but very few truly understand why it is so incredibly expensive. Today, we are going to follow the entire journey of a bluefin tuna, from being caught at sea to expert butchering, and finally becoming premium sashimi. And we will break the process down into 3 parts. First comes the capture of the bluefin tuna. This is a direct battle between fishermen and fish. Catching a bluefin tuna requires much more than strength alone. Patience, endurance, and skill are all equally important. And of course, top quality equipment is essential too. Even after catching this giant fish, the fisherman cannot immediately pull it onto the boat. During the struggle, the tuna moves at extremely high speed, causing its body temperature to rise rapidly. So it must first be dragged through the seawater for a while. During that time, the fish is bled for the first time to lower its temperature. This prevents the meat from being damaged by heat, which would greatly reduce its flavor and texture. A top-grade bluefin tuna must be handled perfectly from the very moment it reaches the boat. The internal organs need to be removed immediately, and the fish must go through a second bleeding process as well. Afterward, it is quickly frozen in a chamber at -60 degrees. This ultra-low temperature freezing method not only helps reduce toxins in the meat, but also preserves the tuna's rich and delicate flavor. That is exactly why a single bluefin tuna can easily sell for tens of thousands of dollars. The second part is the butchering process, and this is definitely not a job for amateurs. To handle such a rare and expensive tuna, you need a master with incredible knife skills. An experienced butcher can break down the tuna with astonishing precision while turning the entire process into a visual performance. Today's master chef is a famous knife expert from Taiwan. His signature weapon is a giant butcher knife. Every loud crack of the blade means another part of the tuna has been removed. His delicate scale removing technique is one of his secret specialties. Holding the blade at just the right angle, he gently scrapes away the scales along the fish. Only the scales are removed, without damaging even a tiny bit of meat. Watching his precise knife work is absolutely mesmerizing. Experienced masters usually have their own unique style. Some prefer removing the skin before the head. Others simply follow instinct. In the end, every chef works in the way that feels most natural to them. But one thing is certain. This is an incredible visual experience. With every powerful chop, the tuna's head, gills, and skin are quickly separated. Then comes the most important part, cutting the meat. Experienced masters usually begin from the belly section, right between the back and stomach area. The blade glides closely along the bone, slowly pushing forward. Yet with every smooth motion, a deep clean cut appears through the meat. It almost makes you wonder if the knife is even made of metal. The chef calmly continues moving the blade forward, and the very first cut removed is the most valuable part of the tuna. This section contains the prized Otoro, known for its unmatched texture and flavor. Then the chef once again pushes the blade carefully through the center, with only a few gentle slices. Another premium section is removed. Anyone who understands tuna knows these 2 cuts are the true treasures of the fish. Not only are they the most expensive parts, they are also the most delicious. In fact, they account for more than 70% of the tuna's total value. Next, the chef grips the massive butcher knife once again, then skillfully slices along the backbone from front to back. This cutting method helps reduce wasted meat left on the bones. The chef's smooth knife skills make every cut fascinating to watch. Honestly, cutting tuna may not seem overly complicated, but it is far from easy. Only veteran masters can develop such stable and powerful technique. That is why buyers are willing to spend thousands to hire experienced professionals, because a true master wastes almost nothing while also processing the giant fish as quickly as possible. This reduces the tuna's exposure to air, helping preserve maximum freshness and flavor. After removing the 4 large premium sections, the chef continues cutting them into smaller pieces, according to the buyer's requests. And as the knife rises and falls again and again, beautiful cuts of fresh bluefin tuna begin to appear one after another. Once all the premium cuts have been prepared, the meat is quickly stored inside freezing chambers, waiting for the sashimi chef to arrive. Honestly, anyone can tell this is going to be an unforgettable food experience. And once the sashimi master finally arrives, the most exciting third part officially begins. The first cut presented is a beautiful upper belly section. This famous golden triangle cut is considered one of the most unforgettable parts of bluefin tuna. The color and texture flow together like luxurious marble patterns. Just looking at it is already incredibly tempting. It almost makes you want to grab a piece and eat it immediately. Next comes a thick cut of Otoro, also known as the fatty belly section. Its pale pink color and snowflake-like fat marbling look absolutely stunning. The meat is soft and delicate, with rich fat blended throughout every bite. The texture feels silky smooth, the aroma is rich and intense, and the flavor is unbelievably satisfying. At moments like this, you truly realize what incredible ocean species bluefin tuna really is. Different fat levels in different cuts create completely unique flavors and textures, and naturally, the price of each section depends heavily on the fat content. From highest to lowest, the ranking usually goes golden triangle, upper belly, medium belly, lower belly, and finally the lean meat. Among them, the fattiest and most expensive part is the tuna belly, especially the rare golden triangle section, which reportedly makes up only around 1% of the entire fish. The meat shines beautifully, while the fat appears almost transparent. It closely resembles the marbling of premium Japanese Wagyu beef. Even just looking at it, you can sense how special it is. Many tuna lovers even call the golden triangle the king of fatty tuna. Generally, the lighter the color of the meat, the higher the fat content, and higher fat usually means richer flavor and texture, because each cut of tuna has different oils, aromas, and textures. There's actually a proper way to eat tuna sashimi. If you eat it in the wrong order, the overall flavor experience becomes much weaker, especially when eating tuna sashimi. You should never start with cooked food first. Otherwise, your taste bud become overwhelmed by stronger flavors, and you may no longer fully appreciate the natural sweetness of the tuna. Usually, people begin with lighter lean cuts first, then move to medium fatty cuts, before finally reaching the rich fatty belly sections. When eaten in the proper order, every bite makes you excited for the next one. And finally comes a heavily marbled Otoro. The snowflake-like fat patterns look absolutely beautiful. The texture is silky smooth, the aroma is powerful and rich, yet the finish remains delicate and long-lasting. It melts on your tongue almost like ice cream, especially after trying every different cut once. Going back for a second round, with just a little wasabi added on top, makes the flavor unbelievably fresh and fragrant. Honestly, one single taste is enough to leave a lifelong memory. So everyone, would you be willing to spend an entire day's salary just to try it once?